So yes, we have got few questions. I'll just read out a couple of them so you can quickly start that answering to the students what they have queries for today. For you, Bhavik. So Vishwada is asking, what type of skills do I need to be successful in that industry?
Like there are few basic skills you learn in the engineering, like being good with the calculations, being good in the few some software if you are going to on the design side. And I have been very much interested in that side only. So I have worked myself in the university on AutoCAD and SolidWorks. And I was not getting job because of the COVID-19 situation. That was quite tough days for me. But as I keep on trying, I just got as a machinist. My first job was as a machinist, so I have to do that because I need to get somewhere. So I have worked as a machinist for 1 year, and then when I was searching for job in New South Wales, uh, fortunately I found something which was related to my thing. And I'm working as an engineer now. So you need to work very persistently, and if even if you are not getting anything, you just need to keep on working on your skills.
So can you just elaborate what skills did you develop in during your Masters of Engineering at the university, Swinburne University?
Yep. Like there is a lot of difference in Indian and Australian education. So here we do a lot of practical things, like you get to do a lot of tutorials. Then you have got to do the one-on-one.
Bhavik, one second, you're not audible. Ronojit, is he audible to you? Yes. Hi, Bhavik. You're audible very clear now.
Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience.
That's really okay, Bhavik. We know we have some internet issue nowadays going around.
Yeah.
All right. Coming back to the skills, what we were discussing, Bhavik, can you just elaborate what kinds of basically skills are required and what you have developed at the university, Swinburne University?
As I said, I was totally interested in the designing thing. So I was very much working on the softwares which I mentioned. Apart from that, you have to be a good team member. Like if you are working in a team, you have to cooperate with the others. And like as there are not many leaders in the group, so I used to be the leader because I like to give the separate the work, and I want everyone to work individually as well, so that no one gets get it unfair. And so that was one of the things. Then you need to develop your presentation skills. That is a must in this scenario, because in today's world presentation is must. Then apart from that, you have to be punctual uh, and very honest.
That's a very valid point, Bhavik. Thank you for sharing your views. Yes, Australians are very, very punctual. We have to be before time if we have a meeting, appointment, class, anything when we study overseas. Then Indian time doesn't work.
Yes, that's true, ma'am.
Yes, yes, fantastic. We have few more questions from the students. So, Ruchika is asking, can we join in 100% scholarship in Gen 23 intake? Yeah. So yes, Ruchika, there are 100% scholarships available by the universities. We can apply for those scholarships also, depending upon your background of your educations. We can look forward, and the universities do offer 100% scholarships for the students. However, they are competitive, but you are always welcome to apply for the scholarship, which we have got very high number of Indian students who have achieved these scholarships also. We have one more question from Nikhil. Can you talk about advancement in your field in Australia? So what is the advancement going on in the field in Australia? What you have studied? Basically, more talking about your skills in your matching in your education, which is with the university and at your workplace, Bhavik?
Uh, can you just elaborate the question again, please?
So he's asking more about the field. So as in you have completed your manufacturing, so he wants to understand what are the advancement done comparatively. You can compare from India and Australia.
Because the thing is, after completing my bachelor's in India, I have never worked in India, so I don't know much about what is going on in India in the manufacturing field. But as far as here is concerned, uh, uh, where I have joined in my company, there is they are cutting profiles according to the orders, and that is still cutting company. So there are plasma cutters, and now they have got the laser cutter as well. So the laser cutting is the advancement, and water jet is more advancement, but they are very expensive. So they are using at the moment laser cutting and plasma cutting. So apart from that, I have studied in my university that about injection molding, and I have forgot one name, but I have studied couple of things which are very advanced. But there are very much experience. They need very much experienced people in those fields. So I have not got that much of experience to get in those fields yet.
Great, but you have developed the other skills what basically are required, which are highly advanced in terms of India and what you have studied at Swinburne University.
Uh, Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's good. So there's one more question from Aisha. How did your experience at the university? Did they help you to find out the first position for the graduations? So how was the experience with Swinburne University, Bhavik?
Uh, as far as I am concerned, I will be very honest with you that there are not many opportunities that they will help you with, because it is not like you get the campus interviews just like in India do, but you have to do find yourself if you want to work in your field, because a lot of people are very much happy not working in the field and just getting the PR thing done. That is very much important as well, because I have moved to New South Wales regional for the same reason, and fortunately I have been selected to apply for the 491 visa as well. So that thing is important as well. But you, if you want to work in your field, you have to find the work, like you have to apply a lot of jobs. Like I have applied for like nearly 500 jobs before I am getting this one. So even to get the machinist job, I have applied a lot of jobs. So you have to keep on applying without fail. And in the COVID times, that was very hard. I have tried for like nearly 6 months, and then I got the machinist job at least. And then I just keep on looking for something which I can do, and I can apply my engineering things. So finally, I just come up here.
All right, because
But
COVID, we all.
but but being very honest, universities doesn't help that much over here.
All right. Do we have a placement cell in the university or a recruitment cell in the university who help you
They
with the
do
preparations of your resume for your interviews and everything?
they do have the placement cell and the interview thing, and they do have the webinars and seminars for that. But
But the
uh,
networking also works a lot, it seems.
yes, networking does work, but the thing is, you have to find out. You have to keep on looking for the job. Like if you just if you just rely on your network, it will not work. That I was say.
So what all options, resources did you use to get your jobs?
I, like they say, I have applied on the Seek and Indeed. They are job platforms. Apart from that, I have met one person who is private tutor in here, like uh, who who helps you to find out job. So he was quite helpful in my finding me job. uh, like he helped me in getting my resume done, getting the my email done, getting me to work on my software thing, like my skills. And apart from that, he helped me to uh, do the emails as well, like find the companies in my area, and then apply on the even if they are not advertising any opportunities. I would just email them that if I have this much skills and I have this much of experience, and I would like to join if some opportunity comes up. So
Yeah, so
you
it
have
is
to
very
you have
important
to
to,
keep on emailing,
yeah.
and after emailing them, you need to just call them, give them a casual call, like I have emailed you this thing, and if there is something, I could come up and meet you. So you have to keep on following.
So yes, of course, you have to keep on following after the emails, but keep dropping emails to all these industries and all the companies where you applied is very important, as you're looking for a specific skills in the job areas, right, Bhavik?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we have a couple of more questions which have come up too. All right, Ria has asked, what does an average day in your work look like?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, she's trying to understand that how is your day look like in the week. So when do you
uh,
start? When do you start, and how do you start with your processing and everything?
like it's like a normal, like I start at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then when I start, there would be a few orders which have been coming in from the industries. Then there should be some files from them. Then we would just go through them, uh, and prepare the parts file, because we are cutting the parts. So we need to get it into the software somehow. If they are in terms of images, we need to get it into the software. And then there are a lot of other things which we need to understand about that software, because I don't want to get into uh, that specification of the softwares. But basically, I'm working on the software all day.
Bhavik, we lost you again. Again, you're not audible, Bhavik. Is there some technical issue with your laptop or your headphones? No, Bhavik, you're not audible. I can just read your lips. You're not audible.
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, ma'am. I don't know. It has never happened with my PT classes.
No worries, no worries. Quickly coming to the next questions, Bhavik. Aisha has one more questions. How did you experience at the university? Did they help you to find the first position of your graduation? I guess you have answered about the graduation. How did you find the job? But can you just explain, elaborate your experience with this Winman University?
Yes, my experience with the university was quite amazing, because I have found the university quite helpful in getting my skills uh, upgrade. Because when I was in India, that was much like rote learning, because we don't work much on the presentations, we don't much work on the teamwork, and apart from that, don't even have a lot of projects. So coming into the Australia, in the Swinburne University, uh, when I started here, there were a lot many projects, there were a lot many things to learn, and lot of tutorials as well. like in India there are different tutorials, because in tutorials there are same as lectures. As I have studied in the Gujarat Technological University, I can relate to that, because the tutorials used to be the same as lectures, but here tutorials are quite different. They help you to find out the solutions of the problems, and you need to work out on yourself. So that was quite an amazing experience to work with the team, and I have made quite a lot of friends from overseas as well, not only from India. So that was quite helpful while I was looking for the job as well.
So how many hours you had to go in a week, Bhavik, to the
Like
university?
in the university, it was like 20 22 hours for the university.
So yes, we have got one more question from a student called Simran. How do you manage your studies and part-time job? Did it affect your grades?
uh, as far as I am concerned, it didn't affect my grades, because I have studied quite well, and I was doing part-time job as a kitchen hand, but it didn't affect, uh, because it depends on the circumstances. A lot of people come over here thinking that they will manage the fees on their own, but I didn't do that. I have got the education loan from India. So I should I join from my phone?
Like
You
this,
want me
you're
to
audible.
join
Yeah,
from the?
yeah, you're audible now.
Okay. So the thing is, I didn't have to pay the whole fees on myself, but a lot of my friends did that mistake, that they have to pay their fees on their own. So they have to keep on working like 50, 60 hours, like on cash as well. So you can work only 20 hours as per the visa condition on the tax, but you can work on cash as well. But I have never worked on cash, and like I said, I didn't need to get those many fees, so I have managed quite well.
That's really great, Bhavik. Thank you for answering that question of Simran. We have a question from student Mary. He's trying to understand what kind of professional development did you see in the job market or current job? Yes, we have been briefly discussing on the same, but quickly talking more about the professional development, the skills, what Bhavik has already informed. If you can talk more about the professional development from the job market and the current job, can you just explain them to the student Mary, Bhavik?
Yes, ma'am. um, as far as the professional development is concerned, I would say uh, the like as I've said, I have been very honest all my life. So I have been the same with my employer. And whenever there is something that I cannot do on the time, I would like to suggest them that this cannot be done in this much time, but this will be done in this much time frame. So you have to be quite honest. Apart from that, uh, there are some professional things you need to keep on mind, that some things you can speak in Australia, some things you can speak in India, but the slang language you use in India does not work in Australia, because uh, I remember one thing from this job, that once I have been standing uh, like this, and just didn't like it. They told me straight away that this is not the way you stand against your boss.
So
uh,
yes, it is
this looks,
offensive when you fold your hands and stand in front of the boss or somebody who is more respectable than
or
you
even
and they think,
or even somebody who is working with you,
yeah,
like
yeah.
workmate
So
as
your
well.
colleagues, and it is not, it is very offensive when
Yeah.
you fold your
So
hands and stand.
so it is quite quite normal in India, but I didn't know about that. So I just keep on mind those things.
Again a very good point shared to my students. Thank you for that, Bhavik. Looking back to some other questions. Coming back to other questions, we were just talking about a question from Simran where she was asking about the jobs, part-time jobs. I want to just add on to the question, how did you find your part-time jobs during the university studies?
Uh, as I came here on the 1st of August in 2017, and from the 3rd or 4th day, I started finding the jobs. But unfortunately, there was not many jobs. Like there are many jobs available, but I didn't know how to find them. So I just keep on trying. I just ask friends and my uh, roommates as well. They were really good people, so they helped me. One of my roommates used to work in kitchen in Melbourne Zoo, so fortunately I found one place in September, and that was the thing. You have to keep on contacting the people.
Yeah, that's very important. You have to keep connecting with them to get the jobs and all. And
And
what time?
apart from that, before getting the first job, I used to do Uber Eats, that is delivery thing, food delivery, and that was on my bicycle. I got my bicycle on from one of my friends only.
Oh, that's really nice. And that's a good thing on the environment, though, Bhavik. And
Uh,
you
y-
you also said before that, earlier before that, you did not do any cash jobs. You did all the jobs where you used to get paid in on your account.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. That's really encouraging to
That
students.
that is no, do work in on cash is not my cup of tea, because I have been very honest to myself and to whomever I have worked for. So I don't think that is quite fair to any country.
That's a very good thought and very good inspiration, Bhavik. Thank you for sharing your views to the students.
No worries, ma'am.
And how about the culture? Did you get any culture shock while you moved to Australia?
uh, Not many cultural shocks. Like I have been studying a lot of books. Like my hobby is to read books, so I have read uh, the Satyana Prayogo from Gandhiji. So I have been quite inspired by him, and I have read a lot of things when he went to the UK first time, what he has gone through, and what kind of things he met with, and what kind of people he met with, and how he dealt with that. So I have been mentally ready with that. And being vegetarian is not really good thing in foreign countries, but somehow I have been managing those for last 5 years, so that is a fortunate thing.
So, for being vegetarian, we have lot many Swaminarayan temples and ISKCON temples there, which really support students
Uh,
coming to Australia, and
uh,
they really
that
get very
that
good support.
that is true, ma'am. But
Yes.
being in the countryside area, that is
Yeah.
quite horrible experience, because you don't have many things to get out from. And if you are staying in some of the regional cities, then it is good. But as far as I am working here, uh, it is not quite a good place, but still I am managing. But if you are in the metropolitan cities like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, so as you have been saying, there are a lot of Swaminarayan temples, and apart from that, Gurudwaras, and that ISKCON temple in Melbourne as well. So they provide food as well. So they are quite helpful in the tough times.
Great. And how about your experience with the accommodations when you started? What were the expenses? How was your weekly expense while you were a student in Australia with Swinburne University?
Uh, Being a student in Stillman University, I was quite fortunate that I was living just nearby. So it was 15 minutes walking distance. So I didn't have to spend much on the transport. But apart from that, I would say monthly I used to spend like eight to $900 being in the shared home. And like like I say, from the time being, like it's been 5 years now, so I would say $1,000 or $1,100 should be enough for a month.
Which includes your electricity bill, your mobile bill, your water bill,
Uh,
everything, and your Wi-Fi.
yes, ma'am.
Oh,
But if
okay.
you but if you are uh, quite like you like to have food outside only, then that is quite expensive.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that can
And
go up to 1,500 or 2,000 as well.
yes, yes. It depends now, student, what it's upon the student's choice or the food also. You used
Because
to
I
cook
used to
home?
because yes, ma'am. I didn't know how to cook, but coming over here, I get a very good couple as my roommates. So they taught me how to cook, and they were from Gujarat only. So I just keep on going with them, and it's quite good experience with them actually.
That's amazing, Bhavik. So every student has to learn cooking before moving to Australia, or else they have to learn
Uh,
cooking after moving there. They don't have
yeah,
choice.
or be ready to have anything you get,
Yes, yes, yes. Okay,
or
fantastic.
cook any, or you can cook anything. Like if you can not cook very well, you should be able to manage.
We have a student from engineering background asking, I'm an engineering electrical student and I'm open for any course. What can you suggest for? So yes, hi, we can apply for Masters of Engineering Electrical Specializations program. The master's degrees are of 2 years, and the next available intake for you will be February 2023. You will have to be ready with your IELTS score, which is 6.5 band as the requirement of the university. And we can make an application now for the university. Also, you will be entitled to get a PSW after completing of your program. How was your process applying to the university, Bhavik? The entire process, except let's just talk about the process. Let's not talk about with whom you were connected with. We can just talk about how smooth was the process or what difficulties you found during the process. How was the visas done and all?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to talk like I have been applying for Canada before I came up with Priyanka ma'am, uh, and my visa was rejected for Canada actually. That was student visa, because one of my sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yes, Bhavik, we can hear you.
Yep. So one of my bands in speaking was 5.5. So that was the reason my visa got rejected. But after meeting Priyanka ma'am, I got to know that there are a lot of opportunities in Australia, and weather was the main thing that I choose Australia over Canada, because I could not stay in quite cold temperatures. And uh, as Priyanka ma'am suggested me, I have applied for the universities with my IELTS score, and I have got seven overall seven bands at that time in IELTS. So and I have got the first letter from the Perth, I think, Edith Cowan University. But as I didn't want to move to the Perth, I just rejected that, and just got the letter from Swinburne University. And then once I got
Swinburne
the late,
University, and which is in Melbourne, and you wanted to choose Melbourne as a metro city. You
yes,
wanted to study. Hmm.
yes, ma'am. And then Priyanka ma'am helped me with quite very well. Like it was quite smooth, and she helped me with every question which I had. Well, from the start of my process, from the bank statements I need to get, from the education loans I need to get approved, and apart from that, the documents which I needed for everything.
Thank you for answering that. How smooth was the education loan process? Just to understand to my students who are applying for education loan, is it easy for an Australia student of an student who's holding an offer from an Australian university?
it is quite dependent on your grades, what you have got in your bachelor's degree, because my grades were not really good but not really bad as well. It was in average thing. So I had three backlogs in my bachelor's, so that was not a big deal at that moment. And apart from that, we had our own house. So to get the mortgage for the education loan was not quite difficult. But if you don't have anything to mortgage on your education loan, then it is quite difficult to get through that.
Right. Okay. So it depends upon the family, your percentage, and the mortgage property what the student and the parents are applying for.
Yes, that's true, ma'am.
Okay. How many times you have been to India after going to Australia for on your student visas? How many times did you
I have
visit?
just been once over there in 2019. That and that is when I got married, and that is all I have been there for. I am looking to get into India sometime in next 6 months.
Fantastic, fantastic. So after getting married, did you was easy for you to take your dependent to Australia with you?
Yes, there are a lot many visas you can apply for. Like the easier way is to get the visitor's visa. uh, but if you are on a student visa which is about to expire or in expiring in 6 months, then you need to wait for to get your post study work visa, and you can apply for your wife as well, or spouse for that matter. And in my case, I was quite fortunate in that matter as well, that my wife's sister was here. So they have already applied for the visitor's visa, and she had that visa. So when I was about to finish my universities, uh, I have just called her, and but then we have applied for the post study work visa together.
So let me just check any more questions I've not missed out. Meanwhile, Ronojit, would you like to chat up something about the queries and discussions? Would you like to take over?
Yeah. If you could like elaborate a bit about your experience in Finland. Like, how was the overall experience and what kind of support you get from the university for your career aspect?
Like as I said, I have been with my friends, like I have been working all the while in the team. So there is a lot of support from my friends. Apart from that, I was in touch with two of my professors, and they helped me to get my project things done, and to develop my resume. And apart from that, whatever queries I do have, I used to go to them, and they were very supportive at any time. And apart from that, Swinburne University has 24-hour library access, so that was really good actually for students. So you don't need to worry about the study place.
Okay. So that is quite reliable.
Andy, Bhavik, just wanted to understand, are the what do you call the libraries, the computer libraries, all that accessible to all the international students? The gyms
Yes.
which are available, what all facilities Swinburne University offered on campus? Can you just elaborate on that facilities also?
Yes, ma'am. There are accommodations available on university campus only, but most of the students choose shared rooms with their friends. Apart from that, you get 24-hour access to the library, and computer libraries as well, where you get to access your softwares as well with your student ID. And you can borrow the books and laptops from the library as well, because I have studied on my first semester whole semester with the laptop from the library only. So
Oh, that's
that,
good.
yeah, because I couldn't afford at that time, because I didn't have many to spend. uh, and
But
apart
the
from that,
university had all the facilities what was required by you.
yes, ma'am, that's quite fortunate.
That's good, good. And what did you do? When you reached Melbourne, you applied for your student card at the university. You might have applied for your transport card for the daily transportations going to the college to going to the university.
As I've said, I have been really near to my university, so I didn't have to apply for the transport card straight away. But I get to know a lot of things about transport cards and the TFN number you need to apply for your job. I have got my student card on the first day only, and met few friends who got their SIM cards done. So I have been fortunate enough that I have never been in any costly things.
That's good. Being in Melbourne, you have got really a good, very good thing, Bhavik.
Very good experience actually.
Yes, yes, yes. How was the experience with Melbourne City? It is said as number one Melbourne city.
Yeah, it depends on the individuals. But as I will as far as I am concerned, it was really amazing because whatever I have got to know, whatever I am today, it is all uh, because of the Melbourne, I would say. Because if I would not have been here, I would not have done that many things being with my parents. And you don't need to you don't need to worry about a lot of things. You just need to be mentally prepared if you are going overseas. And just you need to be careful about a few things, like you don't get into uh, bad people, uh, and you
But
need to
bad
decide.
companies, you mean to say?
Bad
Yeah.
companies, yes, ma'am.
Right. That is, of course, very important. Whichever city you go, if it is Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, or any corner of the world you go, it is very important. You choose your good friends, good relationship, because that's going to hamper or that is going to build your career. You can choose wisely.
Yes, ma'am.
And quickly to understand, did you work in during your full time during your vacations? Was it full time work thing?
Yes, ma'am. It is mentioned on the visa later only that you can work full time whenever there is a vacation or some school holidays, like university holidays. But if the university is going on, you can only work for 20 hours per week, like 40 hours fortnightly. So that is the thing I have been following my student visa.
Fantastic. So students, you allowed to work full time during the vacations and 40 hours fortnight during their study period.
Yes, your employer can ask for the university later as well.
Oh, what kind of letter is that, Bhavik?
It is for the saying that it is the vacation period in the university.
Oh, then only you'll be able to work full time.
No, it is not like that. If employer asks, then you need to provide it. Otherwise, some employers don't ask for that.
Okay, that's good. Any very important information what we have missed out to discuss about, Bhavik, you would like to inform to the students while they are traveling to Australia or they're studying during their study period in Australia?
I would like to say if you are traveling for the first time to overseas, you need to have all your documents with yourself. Otherwise, you can get into trouble anytime because I have never got trouble while going overseas. But when I was applying for my bachelor's degree, at that time it was the last day for application. And when I went to the college, I have forgot one letter from the school or something. And as I thought, there were some xerox which I was taking. So I thought that I have taken it, but unfortunately there was not. So uh, at that time I got into a lot of trouble. but fortunately the college administration staff and the professors helped me out, and I got to done my application on the last day. But you need to be careful with your documents, you don't forget anything.
That is very important. Thank you so much for that tip, Bhavik, for the students.
But nowadays you don't need to worry, because you can get it on the phone as well. But few things they would ask on the airport, or any Indian airport, or uh, for the immigration purpose, so you need to provide that. And
Um,
otherwise follow the instructions whatever your guide or your guide is saying, or your sir or ma'am is saying, because uh, they have been quite experienced in all the things. So you need to follow what they are instructing, on what you can take on the plane and what you cannot, uh, on your bags and everything.
so it is very important to listen to your counselors, what they tell you, what they advise you. It is very important. That's what Bhavik is trying to say, right, Bhavik?
Yes, ma'am, because a lot of people get into trouble, and we have been seeing on the TV program, say, border protection.
Border protection. Yes, yes. How is the weather in Melbourne when you talk about compared to India?
Uh, in the winters, it is getting quite harsh at the moment, because it is around 1 or 2 degrees Celsius at the moment. But in the summers, it's quite pleasing. Most of the times, it is around 20-25 degrees. Some a few days are around 35-40 degrees. So you need to be careful on those days. But apart from that, in the few mountains there are some snow and things, but not in the metropolitan cities.
Okay. And what difference did you find moving to Sydney from Melbourne? So you have been to both the very well-known metro cities. So how did
uh,
you find the experience and the difference?
I have not yet been to the Sydney actually. I have been
Okay.
in New South Wales regional only. But being in the being in Melbourne, it was quite amazing experience. But they say Sydney is quite a populated area than all the cities in Australia. So Sydney is most expensive city in Australia, for
It
your
is.
information.
It is.
It is. Yes. So students are aware the city is way expensive. What we think is. Let me just quickly have a look on the questions around. I'm just trying to cover up all the
Uh,
questions in the chat. Yes,
I,
Bhavik.
I would like to suggest one thing for the students. If you are planning to get the permanent residency, which everyone do, so I would suggest that you need to get uh, your education from the countryside area, like Deakin University in Geelong, or Wollongong University in New South Wales, or something like that, so that you get 2 years, 2 years plus 3 years of work, post-study work visa. And apart from that, you get a lot of benefits in your points, and when you are finding your job and getting the PR points done. So they are having a new visa saying 491. So 491 is only for those who are staying in the countryside areas for most of the states.
So that's what you're trying to tell, that it is better for the students if they apply to regional cities, regional
Yes,
campuses
ma'am.
of the universities.
Yes, yes, because they are just promoting those cities now. They want people to move out over there,
So the
and
Australian
they are
government promoting regional cities. How about the
yes, and
jobs in the regional cities?
and regional visas as well.
And how about the
Yes,
job opportunities in regional cities, Bhavik?
there are a lot of jobs in the regional cities, because not many people want to move out of the metropolitan cities, as I have been connected with my lot of friends, and they don't want to come out of Melbourne even. So even if they are not getting the PR things done, they don't want to move out of the Melbourne or Sydney cities. But I would suggest that you need to keep on thinking about that thing uh, until you don't get it. until you don't get your permanent residency thing done. So the best thing is to uh, get a better university. You can ask your counselors which are good universities in countryside areas, and still you will be able to do all the things.
So what is the basic main focus a student should have when they are enrolling and to complete their degree from Australia? Yes, permanent residencies come besides that, what we have been talking about, what is information passed by you. But what is the other focus a student should give to get a very good score or to stand apart for during the degree program?
During the degree program, you need to be very good at your projects things. When you are and it is not like you can do your assignments on the last night like we used to do in India. You have to be very punctual with those things, because they don't consider any day about that, because they will not consider giving you one more extra day for anything. And one of my friends got b- uh, failed by 1 mark in his exam. So he just went to the professor and just talked to him about that, and it didn't come up well because he just didn't give him anything. So you need to be very careful about those things, because 1 unit you have failed can cost you like $4,000-5,000 and even more now.
So a student cannot afford failing in the in any subjects during their degree program. So it is better for them to focus. And as compared to India, we do not pay fees for the backlogs what we get in India during the
Yes,
studies, right?
yes. In India, we do not pay for the units we study, but we only pay for the exams we give. But here it is quite different. You have to pay for all the units you are studying. If you fail 2 units, you are paying half the fees again.
So it is very important for a student to be focused towards their studies, their projects, their assignments, and everything during the degree.
Everything, everything,
Yes.
ma'am.
Can you just our last question? We are just about to end up the session. The last question, Bhavik. What difference do you feel when you study in India and you study in Australia? When a counselor or when a consultant talk to the student more about theoretical, practical, the classes are not as theoretical in India and more practical based, assignment based. So can you just explain in detail about the education system in Australia?
Like I have been saying, that you need to be very careful with your assignments and tutorials. What I mean by that is, you just don't copy from your friend, and you can sorry, you can get away with that in India, because what we used to do is, one of our friends used to do the assignment and we all used to copy from that. But in here you need to get it done by yourself, because the questions are that you don't get easily from any book or from Google as well. So you need to search out the answers by yourself, studying hard, studying reference books, or studying even studying few journal papers. But apart from that, you get to be careful about plagiarism as well. That is copying thing. If you copy from Google straight away, or from some paper, journal paper, or reference book straight away, you need to mention about that reference book at the end of the assignment or tutorial. And even if you mention those things, you cannot just copy from that book. You just need to write it in your own way. So plagiarism is quite a big thing in Australia.
Yes, yes. I was the questions were leading to again to plagiarism also. So it is very important for a student to mention if he is taking a reference from Google or somewhere, he has to mention during in the assignments that the part of this answer of the question is being taken as a reference from this place. Is that so?
Yes, yes, ma'am. And that is not to not to make you very afraid from the studies, but to make you mentally prepared for what is coming in your way.
Okay. Okay. That is a very important key point what you have shared today, Bhavik. Thank you so much for joining us. I guess I have covered all the questions which are being asked by the students.
Yes, Priyanka.
All right, we'll end up the session then. Thank you so much for joining, students. Thank you so much, Bhavik, for joining us. I would
No worries,
request
ma'am.
students, you can
Anytime.
just download our app and you can it would be very easy for you to chat with the alumni and discuss more about their experiences with Australian universities. All right, Bhavik, thank you so much for joining.
No
I'm
worries,
out.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah.
Thank
Have a nice day, Bhavik. Bye. Take care.